We are starting to highlight the differences between Congressman Heinrich and myself. This morning I was up in Water County and had a small business person pull me aside and say, you know, I'm a Democrat, but I just want to let you know I have two businesses and this health care tax is going to kill me. And so I'm holding back. There's another business I'm thinking about buying in Pecos, but I'm just going to, you know, it's just too uncertain right now as to what my costs are going to be with the new health care tax. So I'm hearing it everywhere, all over the state, that the increase in taxes on small business and the potential for more taxes is holding people back. And of course, in the energy industry, the oil and gas industry, Congressman Heinrich would be a disaster for the city of Mexico.
Why would he be a disaster?
Because he voted for cap and trade, which is the biggest tax on energy in the history of this country, and would mean $1,000 more on every household's utility bill. And he voted against the Keystone Pipeline. And he recently even said that he wants the price of natural gas to go up so that investment in wind and solar becomes more competitive. I want the cost of energy to be low so that we create jobs here in New Mexico and America. And that's the difference between Congressman Heinrich and myself. He is much too extreme for New Mexico.
How do you win this election in a state that's 52% Democrat?
Well, my district used to lean Democrat by voter behavior, and I consistently did much better than the average Republican. And it's because conservative Democrats and independents want someone who is listening to a broad cross-section of people. I comment, you know, New Mexico has more Democrats than Republicans, but we're not a liberal state. And I used to be a Democrat. I understand that, and I understand how there is a part of the Democratic Party that is out on the extreme, and that's the part that Congressman Heinrich comes from.
When I get on my blog, I get responses from people left and right, and people from the left say Heather Wilson voted for the Iraq War. If we vote her back in, we're going to get more of the same.
I believe in a strong national defense. There is no question about that, and I think that New Mexico needs an advocate for New Mexico's unique contribution to national security. I'm a third-generation Air Force. I'm an Air Force Academy graduate. I've worked with both of our national laboratories. We have 3 Air Force bases, 2 national laboratories, White Sands and Storage. New Mexico makes a substantial and unique contribution to national security, and we need somebody who stands up and fights for that and is able to explain it in a way that's not what Congressman Heinrich does. It's not his thing.
Would you describe yourself as a conservative who's willing to work with
Everyone wants to label everybody. I've never really done that. I stand up and fight for what I believe in, but I'm also not afraid to reach bipartisan compromise on big issues important to the country, and I think that that's important. I mean, look at some of the big challenges that we face and how leaders in other eras of American history have approached them. Whether Pete Domenici accomplished great things. By not always getting what he wanted, but finding a path forward. 1983, Ronald Reagan as president, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and Tip O'Neill as Speaker of the House came together, and they extended the solvency of Social Security without tearing the country apart. I think that you know, if their generation can do that, then our generation can rise to that challenge. And none of those men got exactly what they wanted, but they found a solution.
Speaking of the solvency of Social Security, is it one of these days we're going to have to, do you feel that one of these days we're going to have to raise the retirement age from 65 to 67 like the Germans have done?
There are a number of things that you can do with Social Security to make sure that it's saved for the long term. The most important thing is that the check has to be there on time and in full for the people who depend upon Social Security today. And there are a variety of ideas out there on how to save Social Security. I think we're better off addressing it now than waiting until 20 years from now when it's, right now, this program is already paying out more than it's taking in. And in 2037, there will be an automatic cut in benefits unless we act. So the question is, how do you save Social Security and what's the best path forward? And I think that doing it in a bipartisan way and not tearing the country apart is the proper approach.
Do you have any specific recommendations?
Well, there have been a number. I mean, you've got Simpson Walls as a starting point, or Domenici Rivlin, the Gang of Six. There are a variety of different approaches on Social Security. I oppose privatization because I think that Social Security is the safety net program. And to be very honest with you, my family got a Social Security check when I was a kid. My dad died when I was 7, so that check that came in every month was important to my family, and I understand that in a way that maybe some members of Congress don't yet.
But I suspect that your opponent's going to say that you are going to throw grandma off a cliff. I mean, the environmental groups already said you're poisoning drinking fountains.
I think some of these things that are way over the top and not even credible. One thing that people know about me is we may not always agree on everything, but I won't play political games, and I always tell people the truth, and that's just who I am.